इस मूवी में होता है ना एकदम अक्षय कुमार ऐसे गाड़ी सामने ऑटो सामने ब्लॉक कर दिया. So this guy had blocked the car. So my friend said कि bro listen, this is going to be unsafe. I'm going to pretend to remove my seat belt and मैं एकदम से भगाऊंगा. ठीक है, you need to act like everything is normal. So he pretended and then he just ran the car outside. This guy got so pissed off. He broke the पीछे वाला शीशा with his bare hands.
She had a stalker, okay, who would stand at this particular juncture every single day at that same time. Whenever her car would pass, just go like this and look at her driving. That's it.
तो गाड़ी आगे से रुकी,
Oh.
अंदर लोग घुसे, वही शीशा तोड़ के. Now these guys wanted the car, the पैसा, the jewelry, everything, and they want to kill the family and go.
Hello guys, welcome to our podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm Arushi. I am a content creator, an anchor, a writer, an editor, lots of things. Depends on the day. And I have a lot of things to say.
And I'm Sidhikka. I'm a community builder, a digital creative strategist, a founder, and now I also do this podcast with this pretty lady called
Guppa.
And today we're going to talk about the fact that women just don't travel with a backpack. They travel with a lot of baggage, and the baggage is called Suraksha, safety, Suraksha Kavach of yours.
Yes. So basically, safety while traveling. That's what we're going to discuss today. So yeah, grab your chai or coffee ka cup and let's begin today's got.
Woo! When it comes to women being unsafe in general, but while traveling, it's like if you're on a solo trip, there's so many news items that come, it's insane. You could also be traveling, like if you have a routine from work to office, office to work, just going from place A to Z is such a task, a mental toll also for your family, for your mother.
Yeah, for everyone. It's not just our backpack. We
Yeah.
carry so much
mental.
baggage, so much weight on us कि भाई यहाँ से मतलब एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जिंदा बच के जाओ ना.
हाँ.
बहुत बड़ी बात है, अचीवमेंट है.
हाँ भाई.
Like just from every day from work to home, like just traveling for that, like so many women are just like on edge the whole
हाँ.
time. Like so much of our mental health is jacked because of just that two journeys that you do in a day.
Our mother's
Yeah.
mental health, our mental health, if you have a partner, maybe their mental
Yeah.
health, and obviously if you have an elder sibling, oh, they are going to be calling you as much as your mother.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
up
All the
front.
time.
I know people say कि हाँ भाई if you're traveling this and that, and if you're traveling especially late, तो हमेशा एक लौंडा होना चाहिए and stuff. But I've had this really fucked up experience. Okay, so we were traveling from a shoot, and I had a guy with me, and we were coming from Gurgaon back to Noida. There are a few routes that you can take. The Gurgaon Noida ka border goes from I think Faridabad, Haryana side, right? And I have heard a lot of shit storms happening over there. But the one that happened with me was this guy got offended, or maybe he saw a ladki was in the car. I don't know what was the thing. He overtook our car. He was forcing the guy to come out, and he was like banging on the door. And obviously हम लोग सीट बेल्ट लगा के ऐसे गाड़ी बंद करके जाते, so एकदम से वो ऐसे खोल नहीं पाया, तोड़ नहीं पाया, and he was like banging. Now this guy was like, it's okay. So he told me when this guy stepped out, because he had kind of like, इस मूवी में होता है ना एकदम अक्षय कुमार ऐसे गाड़ी सामने ऑटो सामने ब्लॉक कर दिया. So this guy had blocked the car. So my friend said कि bro listen, this is going to be unsafe. I'm going to pretend to remove my seat belt and मैं एकदम से भगाऊंगा. ठीक है, you need to act like everything is normal. Okay, I'm like cool. ठीक है. He's like हाँ ठीक है, I'm removing my seat belt, I'm coming out, can you give me a moment? Alright, I taken my shoes off. So he pretended and then he just ran the car outside. This guy got so pissed off. He broke the पीछे वाला शीशा with his bare hands. And he broke the side wala shisha. And I was like, oh my god, this is not happening. And it was 9:30. It wasn't even too late. It wasn't even like ऐसा 1-2 बजे हम आ रहे हैं and
No,
stuff.
but for society that is late ना.
हाँ, sorry.
हाँ, इस time पे क्या कर रही थी?
But I had protection. I had a guy.
हाँ, that's true. Yeah.
So अब हुआ क्या कि चलो ठीक है, हम लोग भगा रहे थे. So I called the female helpline and I was like, I don't know where I am. I don't know the exact location. I'm scared what to do. This chick was like so chill on the call. She was like, listen, you just enter, कहीं से भी left लेके ना दिल्ली border में घुस जाओ, वो खुद से ही रुक जाएगा. And I was like, भाई इतना casually कैसे बोल रही है? मतलब she was on the
But
phone
what
with
is it
emotional
that
support.
triggered him?
Apparently it happens a lot. So next, my friend, then I was sharing trauma bonding with someone on this, and वो मुझे बताता है his friend 12-1 बजे की बात है, और सेम रोड, वो उसका दोस्त और उसका भाई तीनों बैठे थे गाड़ी में, माँ पीछे थी। सेम थिंग, गाड़ी आती है सामने से रोकती है, बट नाउ दीज गाइज वांटेड द कार, द पैसा, एंड दैट फैमिली वाज लोडेड, राइट? द कार, द पैसा, द ज्वेलरी, एवरीथिंग, दे वांट टू किल द फैमिली एंड गो। तो गाड़ी आगे से रुकी,
Oh.
अंदर लोग घुसे, वही शीशा तोड़ के।
Oh, so it was a heist, like
हाँ
a
हाँ हाँ,
proper. Oh my
proper,
god.
yeah.
हाँ.
And they like sat inside, and now the guy driving the car, he was like, ठीक है, like full, they had like a बंदूक and all, bro.
Oh shit.
So now,
Okay,
now,
man, that's
now,
intense.
yeah. So now he had made it very clear. Listen, if you're gonna do anything, you guys are gonna be killed. Now, like the mother was over there, and maybe Mamta jaag gayi un londo mein or something like that, because she kept crying. She was like, please, we won't even complain, we won't go to the cops, you keep everything, I'll take off every single square inch of gold that I'm just like, jaan chhod do, everything will be given to you, phone, watches, whatever, we will just leave our clothes on, everything else we'll give, including our shoes. ठीक है? And then obviously after a lot of negotiation and crying on her part, he left them. And I was like, okay, now never going from that side of the road ever again.
Seriously, man. Oh my god. But imagine, like, in this situation, you know, my first thought was like, okay, they could have done worse. Oh, this situation was still salvaged because at least they didn't molest me.
Yeah. Oh
Must,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
I would have felt like that.
That, yeah,
like
yeah.
imagine that was where my first thought went. Like they didn't do anything to you.
Yeah.
Okay, chalo tum to theek thi. That was my first situation. Like
Yeah,
my
yeah,
first thought. Okay.
Because safety is
Yeah.
that only. I remember like in college and उस समय I think pepper spray was a new concept. So all the girls were like, keep pepper spray, expire हो जाता है guys, so please make sure to, you know, get a fresh one, because this is like the thing, you can't get out of the house and feel like हाँ ठीक है, you're going to XYZ place and you're going to be safe. It's not
What
happening.
is safety even anymore?
Yeah, and I think the worst part is, or the more freaky part is, like even when I'm going to any place, my mom is like, I'm so lucky that I have like this work from home hybrid model of working. But people who have an actual routine, right, they become praise and targets really easily. Like my mom sometimes is like, oh, I'm scared, you're going for this trip, this and that. Yeah, a lot of stuff happens with tourists and unsafety is there, but yeah, when someone knows your routine na, and they're like eyeing you.
I know. Oh my god, yeah. No, so one of my colleagues, she used to go by this particular route, which I don't want to talk about the
Yeah.
route. There was this stalker. She had a stalker, okay, who would stand at this particular juncture every single day at that same time. And just like whenever her, and would do nothing but whenever her car would pass, just go like this and look at her driving. That's it. Every single day. And it happened for like almost 4 months. Yes. And
4 months.
पहले तो लगता है maybe he was working or maybe he was selling something, right? और पहले शायद इतना भी animated gesture नहीं था. But it kept happening, and finally she came up to us and she she told like our group that, listen, I think this is like not right. Like every day I just feel weird. Okay, like in the morning, and we used to notice that she's not in the right frame of mind when she would come to work. Gradually we would see like this mental decline. And then we like, bro, sab theek hai. And then she broke down. And then she like, this is what is happening. I was like, listen, please go to the police. This is not okay. And finally, what she started doing, and we started giving her a hack, just whip out your phone, and even if you don't take a picture, just pretend, just do it, record it, just do it. And she did, like, she had 4-5 videos, and she went to the police, and then it stopped. And then we were like, bro, first of all, change your route.
Yeah.
Like, change oh my god. And imagine, like, how much we have to tiptoe just for this. And this is like, and this was, like, again, in this situation also, we were like, chalo, molest nahi kiya.
Yeah.
Kuch assault nahi kiya. But still, this is like a horrid situation to even be in. It's...
And then people are like, oh my god, why do females have to have like a pink taxi and like a woman's compartment? This is why.
Exactly.
So that they can hide together, jhund bana ke.
I know, right? I know. Like, this whole question, why do women go to public loos together?
Yeah.
Because, excuse me, like, things can happen on even that little 10 meter ka route. Okay.
Public loo se, I remember this one crazy Reddit story. So like when they're like in pubs or something like that, girls usually like go together and they don't leave their drinks. This one situation that happened was that this guy was kind of like having a fight with that girl. कि why are you holding on to a drink, this and that, and he wanted to put something in it.
Of course.
And he punched her in the nose, the friend. And this girl, तो खैर definitely she was like a very stand-up girl. She was like, नहीं, why are you lurking around the drink, this and that. He got agitated, punched her, and thankfully, obviously, the bouncers वगैरह came, took him out from there. It's insane. And then, like, I was at least lucky when I was a child. I mean, my mother had the mental bandwidth or something that she was like, कि ठीक है यार, this is your good touch, this is your bad touch. If someone like stalking you and stuff, because मेरे साथ हुआ था, I used to like walk to one of my like tuitions and then I used to come back. It was in my society only. So same thing. Londa was like looking, and man, I third day I was like, Mom, this is what's happening. My mom walked with me over there, and like help was also over there, and she directly confronted the guy who was waiting over there, and then we took him to the police.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that is.
like I don't think there are many examples of people doing that because mostly your situation happens and your friend was lucky in this case.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Like
Because
that was our first thought was.
Yeah.
Imagine like you have to somebody is being stalked and you're saying chalo theek hai assault to nahi. Yeah, like that was what we like relieved because of that. Imagine like that's the world we're living in currently. Wow. Like public spaces in general, there is like such sparse ownership of women of public
Yeah.
spaces that you barely see women only, that even seeing like women being there is only such a novelty na, because you feel so you don't
Yeah.
feel any ownership towards a public space because it's mostly dominated by men.
and the worst part I find in public spaces also, females paying toilets, right? Ideally, night is the time where you need safety suraksha to
They're
go pee.
locked.
They're locked.
They're locked.
They're locked. Why are they locked?
Why?
It's
counterintuitive.
It's the dumbest thing ever. Like, get the police wala. Don't have all of them open, man. But हर 10 किलोमीटर में एक तो रख लो
I
यार.
know. Oh my, that is like so stupid. Oh my god.
I don't understand. And then some people are like, maybe more predators will stop at that location. Yeah, but if a girl has to just pee on the side of the road, that's also not safe, right?
Exactly. Oh my god, that's making you more vulnerable. Like at least like in a pink toilet, you know that there's somebody
Yeah.
over there. There's
Yeah.
another person manning that
Yeah.
booth.
Yeah.
Right? There will be like that somebody to raise an alarm.
Yeah.
But here you are
Nobody.
completely vulnerable.
Absolutely. I mean, also there's this thing now, like, okay, for us, there's still some amount of privilege that, we can enter a hotel or we can enter some restaurant and we won't be treated or misbehaved with in a bad manner. For people who don't have that accessibility and who just can't walk into a 5-star to any
Yeah.
time of the night and go and use a washroom, बाहर से ही धक्का मार के निकाल देंगे. Like,
Exactly.
for them, that is so unsafe. And they really, really, really need to be, it's
Guarded
yeah.
in that. Yeah, absolutely. I feel privileged that okay, I can drive or I can take a cab, but a lot of people don't realize that even that is not exactly safe either. Like
Yeah.
even those, even like transport, like I've seen cabs. I've seen like my friend randomly call me and say that okay, I'm in a cab, I am in this number, and I instantly know that the cab is acting shady.
Yeah.
Because the way she'll be telling details in Hindi कि हाँ मैं इस कैब में हूँ और मेरा नंबर ये है और हम इस रूट से जा रहे हैं, शायद हम गलत रूट ले रहे हैं. Like she'll be very pronounced, like enunciate each word, okay? And I
Yeah.
know, and I'm like, हाँ ठीक है, keep talking.
Yeah,
keep
it's not
talking,
for
and you just
you.
know. She doesn't even have to like spell it out. You know.
It's so annoying. And this is why I don't like taking taxis, to be fair. I
Yeah.
don't even like taking the metro because
And you know what? Men will say, तुम उस कैब से कूद क्यों नहीं जाती?
what
निकल
is
जाओ.
this?
I'm like, bro,
First
it's worse.
पीछे वाले दरवाजे
It is
शायद से
worse.
बंदे ने लॉक
Yeah.
करके रखे हो. You don't know.
Yeah, and कूदना is way worse
Yeah,
than
yeah.
being in that cab. Like both situations, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Literally.
So like my last experience in the metro was obviously this one guy was trying to grind at me. That was like the.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And when I was going to Gurgaon, this was when I rarely take cabs alone, right? And like 8 out of 10 times, no issue. 2 times issue. So this one time, this guy, like normally people suggest that okay, fine, sit behind the driver, right? Now I get really uncomfortable. Like, you can't, like a 2-hour trip, the guy is just trying to ogle you.
Oh yeah.
It's so like, and then I shifted from that one side to another side, and then he kind of keeps like redirecting the shisha ka angle to make sure he can look at you. So it's like you can't be dressed, go to an event or a location being dressed, because the guy is just going to keep ogling you and you're going to be scared the whole time. Like, am I going to reach the location, or is he just like, okay, fine, I candy hai leke chalo?
Oh my god, yeah, exactly. No, and I've seen these reels, no, wherein it's like, you know, they've made like fun of it, but it's like so, it's kind of alarming that, okay, so they're like, okay, party look versus cab look, right? So party
Ah.
will be like a really cute dress, and then for the cab, you have to wear a shirt over it and a pant over
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah.
And it's like, it's so sad that this is the world we live
Yeah,
in.
no,
Yeah.
I do that when I'm going in my car. So when I would go for my dance classes, and again, like, we are like doing like booty shaking dances and stuff, and like all the hot tops and mini skirts are out. ऐसा फुल माई मॉम मतलब गाड़ी में जा रहे हो तब भी नहीं 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 जैकेट पहनो पजामा पहनो रस्ते से चल के भी जाना है, एंड आई एम लाइक वैलिड पॉइंट ममा. सो
Yeah,
ऐसा कपड़ा
fair
फुल
enough.
कपड़ा ऊपर कपड़ा नीचे एंड स्टफ, एंड देन आई एम गोइंग. द ओनली प्लेस आई डोंट डू दैट इज व्हेन आई एम गोइंग स्विमिंग. That too because it's like a very crowded area, lots of guards, police, home, apartments and stuff. तो हम like हाँ ठीक है, ये मुझे safe लगता है.
मतलब more people, more जनता, I guess that's better. I don't
More
know.
guarded जनता,
Yeah.
more privileged जनता who have protection.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because like I don't know, education, no education, class status doesn't matter.
Yeah, otherwise you have
Yeah.
all of these Bollywood actors with all of the maids in the house.
Yeah.
So you can't
Yes.
even go to work without your boss molesting you.
I know, man. And that is also for that. It was workplace harassment, right?
It is workplace harassment. There was this beautiful video. I don't remember the person who made it, but his entire video was like, yaar, so he did a POV where the husband and wife were kind of making fun of the maid that, oh, you don't really work. Basically just saying, ki, हाँ, this is not work and stuff. And then she in that video was like, yaar, this is my work. If I come late, you scold me. If I go to a next employer's place, they scold me. In a way, I'm like a freelancer and you are my bosses during that time. And, this is work only. एंड या मतलब उनका भी सेफ्टी नहीं है ट्रैवल के आसपास और
Absolutely, yaar. It's
इनसाइड द
like,
लोकेशन.
yeah, absolutely. That's, I mean, you are vulnerable no matter what class, status, strata, so socio-economic tier you fall in. You are vulnerable if you are a woman.
Yeah.
In fact, anybody comes in that vulnerability. I can't word. In fact, anybody is vulnerable for that matter. But I feel women just are
हाँ, up one
more
notch, हाँ.
vulnerable, along with, of course, kids. Yeah.
So, like in general, when you're traveling, when it comes to like here and there, or if you're like traveling overseas or for a trip, what do you do to maintain your safety? Like, if you had to give some general tips.
I always carry my pepper spray, तो anyway I have to. हाँ, मैं तो यूएस से टेजर भी लिया था, बड़ा मजा आता है. I mean, I'm just sad I never got to use it. I really want to.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I know.
You're like one of those people, यार पता है मेरे डॉक्टर ने बोला MRI कराने के
और
लिए,
कुछ
MRI में
नहीं
कुछ नहीं
निकला,
लगा, कुछ
yeah.
नहीं निकला. शिट मैन, पैसे वेस्ट हो गए. हमने अच्छी बात है ना, पता चला कुछ नहीं है.
Yeah, but like generally also I'm usually on guard. Like if I have my like keys or something, there's that whole rule that you have to keep your keys in such a way
That
that
is
you're-
the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, there are lots of videos that have debunked it of victims also who tried it. So if you keep the key like that now
Yeah.
and you try to do it, first time you're going to slide in, it's going to hurt your palm.
Oh,
There's no impact that actually happens because women don't do the exercises to have that palm strength for the push also,
Oh,
right? So it's
damn.
bad. Ideally, if you want to, then hold it like a stabby pen thingy, and that to niche se, so you can like.
But that's
jack.
only like my keys usually, because obviously if you're traveling and you don't have keys, physical keys, so I usually carry like maybe a heavy bottle or something, like something steel. Maybe that I always have it in my hand. But like recently I had traveled to Singapore, and this is in no other country, okay? In like US ले लो, जहाँ भी ले लो, है तो सेम ही. मतलब वो जो अनसेफ वाली फीलिंग आती है वो हर जगह आती है. But Singapore, for the first time in my life, I was walking on the road at like 12 or 1, I don't know, and this was just outside and we were just like whatever doing, and it was not even like I was with my husband or whatever. We were just anywhere, and I felt okay and I felt normal, and I didn't feel like I'm going to get raped or murdered. I was feeling I was like,
Comfortable,
this
at
is
ease.
so new.
Yeah.
And and I didn't think of it at that time, because when I realized it, I didn't even know the time. Because
Nice.
you're always conscious about time, right? When you're anywhere, when
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
feeling
yeah.
unsafe, you have to be like very mindful of
Yeah,
what
yeah.
time it is. एंड हम लोग वैसे ही ऐसे हुलिगनिज्म कर रहे थे एंड आई चेक माई वॉच ऐसे बाय द वे आई एम लाइक होली शिट्स इट इज़ 1:20 AM and I am alone on a street and I don't feel unsafe and I'm like ये कैसा फीलिंग है ये तो बहुत अजीब लग रहा है मेरे
Lost
को
track
like
of
this is
time, yeah.
and that's when I started panicking like okay one second something's not right like you know the अंदर का वो fight or flight वाला response came
Yeah.
out just because absence of it felt so unnerving felt so unsettling कि
Oh,
wait
wow.
1 minute where's my husband I need him this is weird this is strange
Yeah, so for me, I mean, like I've only had that when I was in Dubai. Like that's also a very safe place. I've not had that in any other country. Like even I remember there was this one point, or this like if you ever go to Paris, in particular, I don't know about rest of France, they're gonna try and put any fucked up fine on you. So we were in the bus, alright, and I had the ticket, but these guys wanted me to paste my passport size photo on the ticket, and I didn't paste it, but it was there. They gave like €100 fine for that, and it was the last bus that took us off the bus. Now, thankfully, we didn't have to travel really far. It was 20 minutes. We ran for 20 minutes because those like alleys were like so narrow and it was so scary that we felt afraid.
oh my
And
god
we were running because there was no other bus, and these guys knew that we are tourists. ये वो बस चिपकाया नहीं है. These guys were like, "Fuck you, go take a fine." And there are lots of places which some countries they just do that because they have to complete a certain
quota
or
yeah
fines that they have to do in a day. So especially with tourists, they're like easy targets. They don't know anything, कर दो fine.
oh my god
Yeah, traveling is not. You
yeah
need to
yeah
be aware of certain
I
things, man.
know, especially when you're women
Yeah.
and alone, or
Oh.
with or in a group of girls also.
Girls,
Yeah.
guys, it doesn't matter. I feel like gender at that point now when you're fucking londa क्या ही कर लेगा कौन सा what no guy over here is going to become Hercules or Shaktiman फाड़ो फाइज t-shirt and be like yeah we're gonna save you like नहीं
Yeah,
होगा
no, no. Even to Shanu, like even though he's very strong and he's 6 feet, he's like, देखो अगर छह लोग आगे तो मैं नहीं लड़ पाऊंगा.
हाँ
Please.
तीन चाटे फिक गया लौंडा
Yeah.
there's no
So
safety
yeah, there's no like I know. So one safety tip that my friend really professes is that whenever you're in a cab or a car, like you always sit firstly एकदम behind the driver. Always. One तो वो नहीं आएगा तुम पे.
आता है लोग
The
देख
thing.
सकते
हाँ
हैं
फिर
नहीं
भी
देख सकते
still
हैं
less.
वो लोग अपनी गर्दन पता नहीं कैसे करके क्या वो
Yeah, I'm like तुम रोड को देखो ना क्या है keep your eyes on the road.
there's also the
Yeah.
side mirror they also put the side mirror on you
Oh my god. So the thing is, one is that of
हाँ.
course कि ये तो मतलब फिर भी it's less than sitting on the side because यहाँ तो दिखेगा ही दिखेगा. So यहाँ पे फिर भी थोड़ा सा तो you're like okay चलो by chance ना देखे.
हाँ.
And the other thing that a friend of mine taught me to do is always carry strap वाली bags.
हाँ
So that if any if anything untoward happens you can just like strangle someone with it like matlab, that's the amount of prep you have to do to
True,
just
yeah.
like go about your day go about your life
these all are like very subject to like mental space where some people don't have the fight or flight instinct to use their brain at that time they just freeze
yeah
so I like for me the best thing is okay fine if you're going to a place you're going to eateries this and that like Google Maps पे पहले first see the roads कैसी जगह है this and that time know the city वो जो like जिसे कहते हैं ना your due diligence and obviously calling up people who have been there कि यार तुझे क्या लगता है वहाँ का scene कैसा है so that really gives you a good idea so before I've gone to any place I also go on Reddit and I'm just like finding out information कहाँ क्या करना है because when we were celebrating New Year in Mauritius this year like because that safety issue in general is there New Year पे काफ़ी deaths वगैरह random stuff happens we had to make sure that we came back in one piece all safe nothing happens and we were like okay fine these are the popular beaches I put like 3-4 posts up on Reddit I asked people who gone to Mauritius I went on Instagram लोगों की stories देखे हम लोग कौन कहाँ जा रहा है ना ping them because ठीक है यार you do what you have to do to make sure you're safe
Of
ask
course.
ask locals
Yeah.
that's usually the best
but just that the fact that you have to do so much
yeah
is just sad right like
Yeah.
do you remember those videos about difference between a guy prepping for a date and a girl prepping for a date right like the guy would just be like हाँ तैयार होके आ जाओ show up but the girl will be like okay tell 5 friends about her whereabouts first share live location then carry keys carry pepper spray carry
Yeah.
knives wipes जो भी whatever you can
Yeah.
okay carry heavy objects all of that, right? Imagine, and then like what is that? The tighter clothes, so that, and then keep looking at your drinks, and then that roofie wala nail polish, all of that just for a date. And while the dude is just casually just wearing pants and shirt and appearing, showing up.
There was this funny date story that I saw on Reddit. So, which was the biggest nuclear missile or bomb you avoided? So, this girl tells a story about a date that, okay, fine, she had gone on a date, she had been talking for a while, this and that, and we sitting across the restaurant. Now, this guy goes to get the drinks. Now, the bartender made the drinks and she was watching the guy. So, she saw कि हाँ ठीक है, my drink is coming to me only, that is happening, and this and that. उस बंदे ने ना पानी के अंदर रूफी मिला दी थी essentially. And now what happened was that she went to the washroom, came back, and she had already mentioned that, okay, fine, if anything happens to her waiter, please do keep an eye out. I'm going to the washroom. Now the date had the water, and then he ended up like fainting, had to be taken to the emergency. Everything happened. Apparently, he was so stupid, he ended up mixing the drinks with some.
Nice.
So
Okay,
then,
this is like instant karma. I love it.
yeah, so the police calls her up a few days later. Like, how do you know this guy? She's like, yeah, I know him because we had gone on a blind date. This and that, मतलब bumbles वगैरह से मिले थे, ऐसा ऐसा हुआ. The guy was like, now we are doing an investigation because if this guy has done this with you, might have done it with others also. We're trying to figure out the entire backtrack
Oh
situation.
man.
Yeah, so after getting out of emergency, he went directly to jail.
Oh, lovely. Beautiful. Oh, sweet, sweet karma. Beautiful. So there is this post I wanted to read to you. And okay, and very useful tips,
Huh.
and hopefully you will understand where this is going.
Huh.
Okay, sexual assault prevention tips is the
Okay.
name of the post. Okay. Number 1, don't put drugs in people's drinks in order to control their behavior. Number 2, when you see someone walking by themselves, leave them alone. Number 3, if you pull over to help someone with car problems, remember not to assault them. Number 4, never open an unlocked door or window uninvited. 5, if you are in an elevator and someone else gets in, don't assault them. Number 6, use the buddy system. If you are not able to stop yourself from assaulting people, ask a friend to stay with you while you are in public. 7, always be honest with people. Don't pretend to be a caring friend in order to gain the trust of someone you want to assault. Number 5, don't forget, you can't have sex with someone unless they are awake. Okay, 9, carry a whistle. If you're worried you might assault someone accidentally, you can hand it to the person you're with so they can blow it if you do. Number 10, don't assault people.
You know, this reminds me of this very popular comment on Instagram. His feet, not mine.
Yeah. So basically, these are foolproof. These are very, very much. We will list it to you, note them down, give them to everyone. These are absolutely foolproof tips to prevent sexual assault.
Again, guys, his feet, not mine. I think this is a very nice summary because at the end of the day, it is not your fault you're traveling from one location to another, guys. You're just doing what you have to do to survive, human being, live, work, enjoy. And
yeah.
it's not you, but obviously, like, you can take some of our tips from today's video on how to be safe. And another very important thing, if there's certain things you specifically do or find out from online that you might be doing for keeping yourself safe, don't tell it to anyone in your group or in general to anyone, because you don't know who's got what intention and what could happen with that information. Keep it safe. Even if you're like, हाँ ठीक है भाई, मैं ना अपने पर्स में चाकू रखती हूँ, don't tell anyone. No one needs to know how you keep yourself safe. That is private information for your safety and yours only.
Because imagine if like you tell me that मैं अपने पर्स में चाकू रखती हूँ and I'll be like, and if I want to murder her, I will be mindful of the chaku
Yeah,
the next time.
yeah.
Then I will know I will wear chaku proof clothing.
Yeah.
And like prevent it if I want to do like a mugging or something. So yeah.
Or
just
if your
keep-
friend also jokes about it somewhere in the open and the person is like, okay, now I know my target has this. You don't know who's going to say what also,
yeah.
na?
So just be mindful of that also.
Yeah.
And yeah. And share the sexual assault prevention tips with everybody. the ones that count.
So guys, we do these podcasts every single week. Please join us next week. And if you like this podcast, if you have any tips you want to share with us, comment down below.
And if you enjoyed this video, please give us a like And share this video with everybody, your girlfriends, your boyfriends, your everybody whom you want to have gups with. And please subscribe to
Girl Guppa. Woo.